All right, get ready to dive deep, everyone, because today we're taking a closer look at the Acer Aspire series.
And a deep dive it will be.
Yeah, we've got this a really in-depth review from RechargeMyTopup.com, and they don't hold back.
They really get into the nitty-gritty, that's for sure.
So think of this as your, cheat sheet to figuring out if an Aspire laptop is right, for you, for your need.
For your lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing about the Aspire line is it's not just like one laptop, right? It's been around for a while.
Yeah, I was surprised to learn that they actually launched back in 1995. That's a long time for a laptop series to be going strong.
Which tells you something, right? They must be doing something right to have that kind of staying power.
Totally. I mean, to stay relevant in the tech world for that long, you got to be adaptable.
You got to be constantly innovating and responding to the market.
And from what I've seen, they've definitely done that.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. They've got everything from these super sleek Ultrabooks to those beefy gaming laptops.
Right. And everything in between. What's the strategy there? Are they trying to be the one-stop shop for laptops?
I think so, yeah. It's a fascinating approach. Instead of focusing on one specific niche, they're trying to offer something for everyone.
Kind of like casting a wide net, see what catches.
Exactly. And, different strokes for different folks, right?
For sure. And speaking of different strokes, RechargeMyTopup.com mentions some pretty premium-looking models with aluminum chassis and Gorilla Glass.
Yeah, those caught my eye, too.
That's not what I typically associate with Acer. You know? I always thought of them as more budget-friendly.
I think they're trying to elevate their image a bit.
Yeah, step up their game, show that they can also do, the high-end stuff.
And I think they're doing a pretty good job of it.
Right, and they have to be, right. Because you can't just have a pretty face in the laptop world. You need the performance to back it up.
Oh, absolutely.
So, let's talk performance. Do these Aspires have what it takes for, demanding tasks? Or are we talking strictly casual use here?
Well, I think that's where the variety comes in.
Yeah, because they have such a wide range, right?
Exactly. So you've got your entry-level models, with processors like Pentium and Celeron.
Those are good for, everyday stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Browsing, emails, the basics.
Exactly. And those are typically your Aspire 3 and E models.
Okay, so if you're not doing anything too crazy on your laptop, those are a solid option.
Right, but then you've got users who need a bit more oomph,
More power.
Yeah, people who are multitasking like crazy, editing photos, maybe even doing a bit of light video editing.
Yeah, those folks need a machine that can keep up.
Right, and that's where you step up to the Aspire 5 or 7.
Okay, so those are the workhorses of the Aspire family.
Exactly, and those will often have, Core i5 and i7 processors.
And I think I saw some AMD Ryzen options in there too, right?
Yeah, for those who prefer AMD, they've got you covered.
Okay, so they're not limiting their customers to just one processor brand, which is cool.
Options are always good.
Always good. And speaking of options, RechargeMyTopup.com really raved about the Aspire Nitro series for gaming.
Oh yeah, those are beasts.
Yeah, it sounds like Acer really went all out with those.
They did. No compromises when it comes to performance with those Nitros.
So what sets those apart? Is it just more powerful processors, or is there more to it?
Oh, it's the whole package. They come loaded with dedicated NVIDIA GeForce graphics.
Oh, okay, so we're talking serious graphics cards here.
Yeah, and not just that, they've got high refresh rate displays for that super smooth gameplay.
That's crucial for a good gaming experience.
And they've got serious cooling systems to prevent those laptops from overheating.
Because gaming laptops, they can get pretty hot.
Oh yeah, they generate a lot of heat.
So it sounds like if someone's planning to, really dive into the latest AAA games, a Nitro is the way to go.
It's definitely a top contender.
But with great power comes great responsibility.
Right, exactly. And in this case, responsibility probably means shorter battery life.
Yeah, because those powerful components, they got to get their juice from somewhere.
You can't defy the laws of physics.
Okay, so we've talked about design, we've talked about performance, but what about the visual experience? RechargeMyTopup.com mentioned something about IPS panels. What's the deal with those?
Right, well, most Aspire laptops, they come standard with a full HD display, which is pretty much the norm these days.
Yeah. That's what most people expect.
But the higher end models, especially the Aspire 7 and some of the Nitros, they utilize IPS panels.
Okay. And for those who aren't display experts, why should we care about IPS?
Well, IPS panels, they deliver more accurate colors and they have wider viewing angles.
So it's like a better picture overall.
Exactly. So if you're like a photographer, or a graphic designer, or even just someone who appreciates, vibrant, immersive visuals.
You're going to want an IPS display.
Yeah, it makes a big difference.
And speaking of displays, what about touch screens? Are any of the Aspires touchscreen friendly?
They do have a few options there, yeah.
Okay, like which ones?
Like the Aspire R series and the Aspire S7, those both offer touchscreen functionality.
So those are good for people who like to get hands-on with their work.
Yeah, especially creative professionals. They often find that really useful.
It's like a blend of a laptop and a tablet. Kind of cool.
It's the best of both worlds.
Okay, so we've covered design, performance, visuals, but now let's talk about something that's super important to me. Battery life.
Yeah, nobody wants to be chained to an outlet.
Right, like I'm always on the go, so I need a laptop that can keep up with me.
And the Aspire series, it really reflects that range of needs.
In what way?
Well, you've got your basic models like the Aspire 3 and E, and those offer around 5-6 hours of battery life.
Oh, not bad.
Solid for everyday tasks.
But not ideal if you're traveling all day or working remotely.
Exactly. You'd probably need to be near an outlet.
Yeah, so what about the more demanding models? Like what kind of battery life are we looking at there?
Well, that's where things get interesting. Those premium Ultrabooks, especially the Aspire S13, they boast up to 10 hours on a single charge.
10 hours? That's incredible.
Yeah, it's almost unheard of for an Ultrabook that thin and light.
But I'm guessing the gaming-focused Nitros, they don't quite reach those numbers, right?
You're right. The Nitro series, it prioritizes power over battery longevity.
Which makes sense. You're not going to get 10 hours of battery life while running demanding games.
No, but they still manage a respectable 3-5 hours under heavy load.
Okay, which is pretty typical for a gaming laptop.
Yeah, you're not going to be too far from an outlet with a gaming laptop, typically.
Okay, so battery life, it really depends on the specific model and how you plan to use it.
Absolutely.
Makes sense. All right, now what about portability? Are we talking slim and sleek across the board, or do some models lean more towards desktop replacement territory?
Portability, much like battery life, varies across the series.
Right, because you've got everything from super thin Ultrabooks to bulky gaming laptops.
Exactly. So you've got your ultra-thin and lightweight models like, the Aspire S and the Swift series.
Those are perfect for people who are always on the move.
Yeah, they're designed for portability, first and foremost.
And I'm guessing the gaming laptops, with all their powerful components and cooling systems, they're not quite as travel-friendly.
You guessed it. The Nitro models are definitely bulkier.
They're like desktop replacements, practically.
Almost, but they still offer that portability if you need it.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of hardware ground here.
We have.
But what about the software experience? What operating systems are we looking at? And does Acer throw in any cool extras?
Well, most Aspire laptops, they come preloaded with Windows 10 or 11.
Depending on the release date, obviously.
Exactly, but Acer, they don't just stop there.
They like to add their own little flair, right?
They do. They've got some software enhancements to try and improve the user experience.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me the highlights.
Okay, so there's Acer Blue Light Shield, which helps reduce eye strain, especially if you're working late at night.
Oh, this is a good one. I'm always staring at a screen.
Yeah, we all are these days.
And for those who want a more immersive audio experience, they've got Acer True Harmony,
which enhances the sound quality.
Nice. I appreciate those little touches. Anything else?
They also have a quick access tool, which provides a centralized hub for managing device settings.
Okay, so like a one-stop shop for all your settings and adjustments.
Exactly. You can customize your laptop to your liking.
It's the little things.
It's the little things that can make a big difference.
All right, last but not least, let's talk connectivity. Got to stay connected in today's world.
Oh, absolutely.
What kind of ports and wireless capabilities can we expect from the Aspire series?
Well, rest assured, they've got plenty of options.
Okay, good, because I'm always plugging in different devices.
Yeah, so you'll find a variety of ports, including USB 3.0, 3.1, and 3.2.
Got it.
As well as USB-C, HDMI.
Essentials.
And even Ethernet ports for those who prefer a wired connection.
So I gotta have that option.
You never know when you'll need it.
So pretty much everything you could possibly need. What about wireless? Are we talking cutting-edge Wi-Fi and Bluetooth?
Oh yeah, the latest models, they come equipped with Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.2.
So you're going to get those super fast and reliable wireless connections.
They're not lagging behind on the wireless front.
I like it. Anything else we should know about connectivity before we move on.
Oh, there's one more unique feature that's worth mentioning.
Okay, hit me.
Some Aspire models, like the Switch and R series, they have detachable keyboards.
Detachable keyboards. Interesting.
Yeah, so you can effectively transform them into versatile convertibles.
So it's like a laptop and a tablet in one.
Exactly, they're blurring the line.
I like that Acer's not afraid to experiment a bit.
They're pushing the boundaries of what a laptop can be.
Which is cool. Well, I gotta say, this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive into the Acer Aspire series so far.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of ground.
From design and performance to battery life and connectivity.
It's amazing how much they pack into a single series.
I know, it's impressive. They really do seem to have something for everyone.
They really do.
But we're not done yet, folks.
Oh no, we're just getting started.
In the next part of our deep dive, we're going to be taking a closer look at some standout models.
And we'll help you figure out which Aspire might be the perfect fit for you.
We'll break it all down, so stay tuned.
The deep dive continues. So we've talked about how Acer, they really offer a ton of options within the Aspire series.
They really do. It's like a laptop for every personality.
And speaking of finding the right fit, RechargeMyTopup.com, they seemed really impressed with the Aspire 5 and 7 models.
Yeah, those were the ones that kind of struck that balance between, power and portability, right?
Yeah, exactly. They even said something like premium features without the premium price tag, which is always a good thing.
Okay, so what makes those models so special? What sets them apart from the rest of the Aspire lineup?
Well, for starters, they don't skimp on the processing power like you'll find configurations with Intel Core i5 or i7 processors.
So those are pretty powerful, right?
Yeah, and you can even get them with AMD Ryzen 5 or 7 if you're an AMD fan.
Okay, so they've got options for both Intel and AMD users.
They do, and that means whether you're a student who's juggling a million projects or a professional who needs a reliable workhorse.
These Aspires can handle it.
Exactly. They're built for productivity.
And it's not just about the processor, right? They also have those nice IPS displays we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, the ones with vibrant colors and wide viewing angles.
Perfect for movie nights or editing photos.
Exactly. They're great for any kind of visual task.
And they still manage to squeeze in a decent battery life, which is always a plus.
Yeah, you can often get around 7-8 hours on a single charge with those models.
That's pretty impressive, especially considering they're not, super bulky.
And that's the other thing. They managed to pack all that in while remaining relatively lightweight and portable.
Okay, starting to see why RechargeMyTopup.com was so high on these models.
They're a real sweet spot in the Aspire lineup, that's for sure.
All right, so we can't forget about our gamer friends out there.
Of course not.
RechargeMyTopup.com, they had some pretty glowing things to say about the Aspire Nitro series.
Oh yeah, that's where Acer really unleashes the beast.
So for serious gamers, a Nitro is the way to go.
If you're looking for a laptop that can handle, the latest and greatest AAA games without breaking a sweat,
the Nitros are definitely worth a look.
Absolutely, but we did talk earlier about battery life being a bit shorter on the Nitro series due to those power-hungry components.
So what else should gamers keep in mind when they're considering a Nitro?
Well, one thing to consider is portability. Like, gaming laptops in general, they tend to be a bit bulkier and heavier than your typical ultra-portable.
Makes sense. You need that extra space for all the powerful components and cooling systems.
Right, so if you're someone who's constantly on the move and needs a laptop that's, easy to carry around,
a Nitro might not be the best choice.
It might not be. You gotta weigh your priorities.
But that's the beauty of the Aspire series as a whole, right? There really is something for everyone.
That's what I love about it. Whether you're a casual user, a busy professional, a creative powerhouse, or a hardcore gamer.
Acer has an Aspire model for you.
They've really nailed that versatility aspect.
Okay, so as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, what are your key takeaways from exploring the Aspire series?
What stands out to me is Acer's ability to strike that balance between features, performance, and affordability.
Yeah, they're not just trying to sell you the most expensive laptop out there.
They're giving you options.
And I think the Aspire 5 and 7 models, they really exemplify that.
They're the sweet spot, for sure.
But of course, we can't forget about the Nitro series for our gaming enthusiasts.
No, they haven't neglected any segment of the market.
So this deep dive, it's really given me a new appreciation for the Acer Aspire series.
They've come a long way.
It makes you wonder what the future holds for laptops in general, like what new innovations are on the horizon.
That's the exciting part. We're always on the cusp of something new.
And what features do you think will become even more important in the years to come?
Well, I think we'll see an even greater emphasis on portability and battery life.
Yeah, because people are becoming more and more mobile.
Exactly. We need devices that can keep up with our on-the-go lifestyles.
And with AI becoming more prevalent.
Who knows what role AI will play in shaping the laptop experience of the future?
It's an exciting time to be a tech enthusiast, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we've explored the world of Acer Aspire laptops in depth, from their design philosophy and performance capabilities to their unique features and software enhancements.
And we've delved into the nuances of their various models, from the budget-friendly Aspire 3 to the Powerhouse Nitro series.
It's been a truly comprehensive deep dive.
But don't go anywhere just yet. We've got one more part to this episode.
We'll be sharing some final thoughts, resources, and a parting thought to leave you pondering the ever-evolving world of laptops.
Stay tuned. Okay, so we're back and ready to wrap up our Acer Aspire deep dive.
It's been quite a journey exploring all the different facets of this versatile series.
You know, one thing that really struck me is how Acer, they seem to genuinely prioritize choice.
Yeah, they're not just trying to push the most expensive or the flashiest models.
Right, they're offering a range of options to really cater to different needs and budgets.
They want to make sure there's an Aspire out there for everyone, regardless of how they plan to use it.
Exactly. And speaking of finding the right fit, I wanted to circle back to something RechargeMyTopup.com mentioned in their review.
Oh, you mean their recommendation to check out their website for in-depth comparisons and deals?
Yeah, they have a whole section dedicated to Acer Aspire laptops with detailed reviews, spec breakdowns, and even price comparisons.
It's a fantastic resource if you want to do your own research after listening to this deep dive.
So if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by the sheer variety within the Aspire series, definitely head over to RechargeMyTopup.com.
Yeah, they make it easy to compare different models side by side and really see what each one has to offer.
They even have a dedicated tech reviews app that can help you navigate the whole process.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like having a personal tech advisor right in your pocket.
I might have to check that out myself.
Okay, so before we officially wrap things up, I want to leave our listeners with one final thought to ponder.
I'm all ears.
We spent this entire episode talking about the technical aspects of laptops.
Processors, RAM, battery life, all the things that make them tick.
Right, but at the end of the day, a laptop is just a tool.
It's a means to an end.
And that end is whatever you want it to be.
It's about what you create, what you learn, what you achieve using that tool.
Exactly. So as you're searching for your perfect laptop, don't get too bogged down by the specs alone.
Think about how you're actually going to use it. What are your goals?
What are you trying to accomplish?
Because ultimately, it's not about finding the most powerful laptop or the one with the longest list of features.
It's about finding the one that aligns with your individual needs and aspirations.
The one that helps you, become the best version of yourself.
And on that note, I think it's time to officially wrap up our Acer Aspire deep dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring this fascinating series with you.
And a huge thank you to our listeners for joining us on this journey. We hope you learned something new along the way.
And who knows, maybe you even found your next dream laptop.
And as always, the world of technology, it's constantly evolving.
So stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop learning.
I'll catch you the next deep dive.